The title of the thesis in question, Olfactory Ethics, the Politics of Smell in Modern and Contemporary Prose. What? The left is really, if you listen or watch their shows, and we do every day, and that's why we provide all of the references, link in the description, and most of them are left-leaning sources. I think when we run the numbers, it's about 80-something%. Because we don't want you to believe what we're saying right here. We want you to believe the arguments that the left are making themselves. So right now, the argument that they are making and trying to correct course from this last election, the shellacking, is actually the big divide we should focus on is Trump is only able to win because of a lack of education. But we need to look at voters, not male, female, not race, not class, but the educated, meaning college degrees. That's the metric they use. Do you equate that with being educated today, a college degree? I don't. Versus the uneducated, huddled masses who don't know any better. You know, you.
What's the big divide in American politics? It's the diploma divide. College-educated people are now trending sharply to the left, to the Democrats. High school-educated people are trending sharply to the right.
So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated,
shut up, bitch,
are in their extraordinary naivete.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health?
And they think that only stupid people vote for politicians like Donald Trump. Well, there may be stupid people in America, just as there are no doubt stupid people in this country.
Let me just make one point here. They're trying to equate higher education with intelligence. You just heard them do that. If higher education was a sign of intelligence, then not everybody would be able to do it. You cannot have a bell curve that is reality as far as IQ and say, and everyone can and should go to college. You can't have it both ways. Higher education, a college degree, cannot be an indicator of intelligence if you claim that everyone can do it. Does that make sense? Can you comment below? Let me know. Does that make sense? And what is education anymore? Is this the metric that we should be looking to? And when I say education, I mean how they are using it. Yeah. Because the truth is, you can educate. You don't even need a public library anymore. The Goodwill Hunting line doesn't work because you have a smartphone. You can learn anything at any moment. And what's scary is we have more information than ever, more tools to learn than ever, and we have people who are less literate than previous generations. So we have a problem of choice and people making the wrong. Really, we have a problem with people making the wrong decisions. Just like obesity. You can eat healthy. You can choose to not. Sorry, food deserts are not a thing anymore. The idea that you can only eat fast food if you're poor, that's not a thing anymore. You can eat oats, bananas, tuna, eggs, milk. You can be healthy and poor. We have more choice than ever, and we have fatter people, we have sicker people, we have dumber people, according to standardized literacy and mathematics tests. And you have, in the palm of your hand, more power than all of NASA from when your parents were growing up. And that's why they want to perpetuate this lie. And we're going to get to this thesis from, I believe, a student and professor to show you what kind of education you can expect in our hallowed halls. This is the latest installment of Make My Professor Famous. All right. The X post here sums it up quite well. This is Ali Lukes, an English literature PhD candidate at Cambridge. A lot of impressive words there.
They also teach, by the way.
Yes, this person teaches.
Class.
Posted this, thrilled to say, of course they look like that, thrilled to say I passed my Viva with no corrections and I'm officially PH done. The title of the thesis in question, Olfactory Ethics, the Politics of Smell in Modern and Contemporary Prose. What? So no. This is the Harris voter. Yeah, you're just uneducated. What? You're just uneducated. Just stop being uneducated. Okay.
Educate me.
I expect better from the Aryan and the Guinea here.
Bullshit. I went to DeVry.
I'm a Phoenix.
University of Maine, 2.4, and I'm proud of it. A lot of fat broads. Go ahead.
Dr. Lukes posted he posted her abstract to clarify, because you might be confused. So let me make sure it's really clear. This is what this person posted. The broad aim of this thesis is to offer an intersectional and wide-ranging study of olfactory oppression by establishing the underlying logics that facilitate smell's application in creating and subverting gender, class, sexual, racial, and species-powered structures. So really about smell and how that relates to oppression. Least thrilled about this thesis, by the way, is this guy. Yeah, he's not...
Oh, come on. All right.
So... And here's the thing, too.
It didn't even look like a cab.
No.
It could have been a Buick. It could have.
And here's the thing.
Oh, that was great.
Higher education, Cambridge, right. But common sense would say, if you're actually looking to resolve a problem, if you actually believe that we have a problem of gender, racially based oppression in this country, you go, okay, what affects that most? You'd have a list of 10 things. Olfactory suppression would not be amongst them.
I mean,
But you might look at, okay, the workplace. You might look at dynamics or CEOs, which
Right.
the left tries to do, which is also BS. But you look at some other power dynamic structures that exist. That would be common sense, where you go, if you actually believe that there is an urgent problem that needs to be dealt with of oppression, of systemic oppression, prejudice, you wouldn't go straight to smell. Of the 5 senses, that would be the last one. Taste would come out above it.
I don't even know how taste plays into this thing.
Yes, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
That's exactly. Well, the good news is she clarified in a following post. So sorry,
okay,
Nick. I'll
all
make
right.
sure it's really clear. I wasn't good with that.
There we go.
It says, to be clear, this abstract was written for experts within my discipline and field. It was not written for a lay audience, and this
Oh
is
my
not
God.
how I would communicate my ideas to the average person. Logical fallacy alert! Logical fallacy alert! It's the appeal to authority fallacy. You just don't know Nick and Gerald because you're uneducated. You heard them talk about you on CNN. This is for experts. We understand how the olfactory senses affect sexual discrimination. Or you're an idiot. Or you're an idiot at an Ivy League school. You can be an idiot anywhere. I'm sorry. This idea, we have to completely dispel this myth right now that college degree equals education. It doesn't. Not in 2024.
Some of the smartest people I know worked in olfactories.
Yeah, yes. Oh, they
Are we
were all-
just supposed to put up with people who stink? Is that the end of this? Is that like the final point of her thesis is like, well, just to make sure that we did people that smell like human feces has been rubbed all over their face.
Yes.
Should
That's olfactory suppression.
you should treat them as if it's like, cool water.
Sounds like you
I
need
guess.
to check your clean privilege.
You need to, yes.
Or she's saying, pheromones are racist.
Oh,
I don't know, but here's what I do know. A graduate degree at Cambridge costs $105,000.
No, Stephen, that would be appropriate. It's $105,000 and $3.84. Okay, so where's the $3.84, Cambridge? Why do you need that extra little bit of money?
Probably the snoring strip.
Just round it.
Yeah.
Make it easy for everyone.
And here's the thing: we say, oh, college degree. We're going to separate them in a voter block into educated versus not educated. All right, let's look at. We want a society with productive members of society, right? That's what you've had for every single civilization, going from tribal villages to the modern Western world. What you focus on, and this is where we believed in education was an indicator of this in the past, when you would get a broad education preparing you for the world. This was designed to help you be a contributing, functioning member of society who would improve society. But today, is that the metric we should use? If we're trying to create a healthy society, is this kind of education? Is this an indicator? Could it be less relevant? Let me give you some examples here. I think we should be looking at things like income to debt, family size, success in relationships, right? Mental health. Let's look at just the income to debt for graduates. So a PhD in English, this is English literature. The median income is $55,000. The median debt from student debt, largely, $41,000. Let's look at trade school. Median income is $67,000 and the debt is $10,000. Which example is an indicator of someone who will benefit society? And Thomas Sowell talks about this a lot. If you're in the trades, if you're a plumber, if you're a welder, if you're a carpenter, you have knowledge that this person with an English lit degree does not have. Just like this person with an English lit degree maybe has some knowledge that you don't have. Here's the difference today in 2024. That welder, that plumber can learn everything that you have learned just as quickly. You can't unless you go to a trade school.
Right.
And those are necessary skills. Which person would you rather have in society? This person who writes a thesis, likely at some point to be studied at the taxpayer dime, on olfactory suppression? What are they doing to improve your community, to improve this country, versus the person who learns a trade and fixes your pipes or makes your table or your cabinets?
Why would you spend $100,000 on a degree that basically earns you less than what you would get coming out of, like, Notre Dame with just a regular degree, like a 4-year degree? $100,000 on this PhD.
Right. And
you're coming out, and I looked this up before we came on air, but specifically English Lit PhD, $50,000.
Yeah.
Maybe up to $70,000 at the high end. I was like, what? No, you're like, okay, fine. They want to go into academia and ranges in salary for them are typically suppressed. Fine, but name me something outside of academia where there's a lot of that are going to make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Why would you do that?
Yeah. And you know what else, too? Those people who go to trade schools, they're more likely to have children.
Yes.
They're more likely to have families, right? These people who go and get a PhD, they're less likely to have children. They're less likely to create families. Don't know if you know this. You just saw the sex machines in China. They kind of have a birth problem. So again,
lots of PhDs
yes,
in English Lit.
Lots of PhDs. It's very hard to do English literature.
More importantly, the people that go to trade schools are not going to get indoctrinated.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Even when education used to be, it wasn't all left-wing horse shit.
Right.
You could have tried to make a little bit of an argument. Right now,
no,
it's ridiculous.
And I will say this is anecdotal. We've just gone through the empirical, the references are available. Anecdotally, I have never met someone, I've met some really, really smart people in my life who didn't go to college, or didn't finish college. Okay, so I'm talking about people who stood out, who really impressed me intellectually. In many cases, were very intimidating. They were so smart. I've met some who did go to college. I've never met one person in my life who was intellectually impressive, who would list their degree. In other words, every single person I met who's really smart, either they went to school or they didn't. And if they did go to school, they didn't really bring it up. They didn't take pride in their degree.
Right.
I've met all of the stupid people that I have met immediately point to their degree. Have you encountered that? All of the people who I've met, the second they get checkmated as far as an argument, they go, well, I did go to Brown. I don't give a rat's ass. You sound stupid.
Hey, guys, take the degree off my wall, will you?
Yes.
Appreciate that.
It's a status thing. It's like having a Mercedes or a black baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is in Hollywood. Why do you think Madonna adopted half of Nigeria? You think she did that of her sweetness of her heart? Somebody write that down. That should go in my action.
All right.
Does that make the air? Please tell me that doesn't.
No, of course it does. Mercedes or black.
I don't know what you guys do back there.
I got it written down for you.
Got it.
Thank you.
And just to give you more proof that academia is ridiculous and the left just cannot they can't fix this. They can't right this ship because this is what they think they need to focus on right now. And they're going to isolate themselves more. I can prove to you that it's complete BS. Because C. Matheson, for those of you who've forgotten.
Oh, no.
C. Matheson, someone who's worked in this office, a transgender who looks quite a bit like yours truly, actually submitted and was peer-reviewed in submitting a paper, a thesis on fat pride as a method of self-care in the era of Trump. Got accepted. Now, I decided to write and submit my very own fat studies paper for presentation, and with the help of my brilliant researcher, I wrote an entire essay titled Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Trump. I then submitted the abstract to the conference, and did I say that I wrote the essay? I meant to say it was submitted by C. Matheson, a wonderful and totally academically legitimate genderqueer fat pride activist.
Hello, I am C. Matheson. I am an activist based out of Austin, Texas, specifically working with the non-binary and fat community to help increase presence of intersectional and non-binary people with such events in Austin as Women's March, March for Our Lives, most recently the global climate strikes. My preferred pronouns are she and her, and my paper, Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Donald Trump.
Now, let me explain to you how I did that.
Please.
I literally said, okay, what is the dumbest crap I can think up and write down on a page? And then handed it in. and they gave me a speaking slot.
Yes, they wanted you to come and speak at their the next event, right?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I literally, and I'm not misusing this, literally couldn't think of anything dumber than what I wrote down. And it was lauded with praise. Also, they complimented C. Matheson's sweater.
They did.
Goodwill.
Nice. I don't think that's not the main point. By the way, Stossel referenced this like a month ago in a video that he put out about academia as well. He referenced you right off the top. Like, look,
as it turns out, C. Matheson actually has a penis. So, hey, if you're still watching, you can comment below or click this video playing in a box. Shut up. Shut up. You can tune in live weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, because that's the full show. Which you can say, shut.
I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't say anything. I could feel it. Click like.